I now and only now realized that most people want the results, but they're not willing to do the work. And I thought that this is pretty much the norm. You gotta do what's required, you do it, and then you deserve to have the success or whatever results that you want to achieve. But turns out that most people want easy route. They want everything easy. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard so many motivational speeches and different coaches saying that, but I'm like, yeah, you're saying it, but most people really are going to do the work that's required. And how do I compete to win? Turns out that most people don't want to do the work that's required. They want everything to be easy. And if you only do the simple fundamental things consistently, you become top 1%. In my field, in real estate, as I was a real estate agent, I've learned that cold calling and content creation is the best thing to generate leads, promote yourself, build a brand, and then service clients. And then after you have some clients, just keep sending them some items of value, some mailers, some little gifts, just reminder, the email, just call here and there, text here and there, congratulations on the birthdays and things like that, and you'll have business. Simple, extremely simple business, has been done hundreds and hundreds of years before me. Just copy. Just do what they tell you to do. This is not hard. And yet 87% of agents fail in the first 5 years, 80% fail in the first year. And I thought that, well, I have to come up with something because that's like so many agents, they're all doing the same thing. No, they don't. They're looking for easy routes. They're looking to do something that's super easy, that does not require any of their attention, any of getting out of the comfort zone. Give me the easiest way. They're willing to pay. They're willing to go on millions of trainings, fly throughout the country. They're willing to do all that, but they're not willing to record videos and do calls. And as I started doing all these activities and I started to seeing my growth, and I was like, all right, maybe this is just, I'm getting lucky so far. And then I keep doing it, and then it just keeps growing. Now, let me actually go back, and it's kept growing, and every year I was doubling my production, and I grew to 130 sales. And then I decided to open up a real estate brokerage. I'm like, how am I supposed to attract agents? Like, these agents already have all the agents, and how do you stand out to attract even brand new agents or the agents that are already in the business? And I've learned and gone through some trainings, and I've learned things that work. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do them. Probably everybody's doing them, these big companies, all these big brands. Turns out, again, the same thing. Nobody is doing the required things. Nobody is willing to do a seminar to train agents. Nobody is willing to do trainings 4 times a week, or at least 3 or 2, or at least one a week, one training a week. There's only a handful of brokerages that do it. That sometimes they do it once a month, and it's boring trainings that agents don't want to participate in. They don't want to create content as a managing brokers. They don't want to call agents and connect with them. They don't want to go to open houses to talk to them. They don't want to do anything. They just want to sit in a chair. Hopefully it's in the office. Sometimes it's not even at the office, it's at home. They like to travel a lot. They like to call the roster my agents that need to produce for me. They keep losing agents. Their numbers don't make sense. Their splits and value doesn't make sense. They're broke. They have to keep selling, and they're in a position where this whole thing doesn't make sense. And when I was getting into the business, I was told there's no money in this business. But once you start doing things that make sense, once you start showing that you know what you're doing, you need to be educated about the business and keep learning about the business. And so agents see it. You have to care about your agents. You want them to produce. You want them to feel that they're a valuable asset at the company. You want to care about how much money they make and give them some ideas how to make money. And you want to train the new agents, and you want to give resources to the ones that are busy. You want to keep adding value, keep looking for opportunities. How do I actually make their life easier and make more money? How do I attract more agents? What do they look for? You gotta live it. You gotta breathe it, and then ideas start coming out. And you have ideas for some social media posts. You have ideas for some trainings. You invite people to train your agents. And what I see from 3 years, we decided to grow a company. It's been 3 years since we started growing a company. Out of 3,700 offices, we're number 60. It's only 3 years so far. We are number 9 fastest growing agency in our market. Number 9. We're not number 1. We're not number 2. We're number 3. We're not top 5, but we're top 10. And that gets to show you that really, whatever business you're going to do, you have to assume that you're dealing with a lot of newbies and amateurs. The ones that are not willing to do the required work consistently. They might be able to do the required work for some period of time, but a lot of times they don't want to do it consistently. They keep jumping from this source to that source. They don't run their numbers correctly. They don't think about where this business is heading. They don't know the environment of the industry. They're just doing it because it's kind of working for now, so why not? And for you, if you really want to win and become the best and make a lot of money and build something big that maybe you can sell or even keep it for forever, because it's something that drives you, or maybe even in the business that makes sense to build it up, sell, and then just use the equity for something, whatever. Invest in real estate or just chill. In real estate brokerage, where I'm at, residential real estate brokerage, can't really sell a business for too much money. So it's better to keep it as a cash flowing asset and just invest money on the side. So my goal is not to exit the company. My goal is to maybe buy companies and grow the company. But I was just driving for the radio. We got a radio that we've been doing for almost 2 years, I think, with 2 agents of mine, which are good friends of mine. We're just keeping doing the show where we talk about real estate. And I was just driving and thinking, like, if you just do simple stuff and you just think about what you got to do every day, nonstop, you're going to come up with ideas. Things going to start to work. You're going to grow. And I was surprised. It was just recently where I started like seeing lots of agents moving around and joining us, and I thought that everybody's like me. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody will do what's required to do. And I'm like, no. First of all, a lot of people don't have a big goal, which I'm not saying anything about. It's everybody has their own goals. Like, for example, I go to the gym. I don't have a goal to become a Mr. Olympia. I just want to, build some muscles, get rid of some fat. That's okay. That's good for me. That's a good goal. Like, for a woman who has a husband that has a good job, why would she want to sell 100 houses? She doesn't want to sell 100 houses, and she shouldn't sell 100 houses because that's not a good life either. But maybe for a single guy who doesn't have kids, yeah, and why not sell the most amount of houses that you can? You're in a good field. There's a lot of opportunity in this industry. You can make a lot of money. Why not? And yet, some people say, you know what? I'm not comfortable in the camera, so this whole camera thing is not for me. Okay, well, when you were 3 years old, you didn't know how to ride a bike, and you learned it. You didn't know in 16 how to drive a car, but you learned it. you didn't know in 4 years old, when you were 4 years old, how to swim, and maybe you learned it somehow. 'Cause I don't swim, so I've never learned it, but that's a different story why I don't swim. I actually don't swim. But whatever. Everything else, whatever you need in life, you don't know how to use internet, but you learn it. Shit, like 2000, 2002, nobody knows how to use internet. Now, like, can you find a person who doesn't have an email? Those are rare. We sign contracts with clients. You know, we're gonna sell 700 houses this year and probably do 300 rents. So 1,000 transactions that we're gonna do this year, and like maybe 5 are gonna be done with a pen, and 995 will be signed, you know, through, you know, electronic signatures with emails. This is life. Like, I'm getting into the business and I'm not comfortable in camera. Well, I don't know. Maybe you gotta rethink the industry, or like if you're really going into a sales industry, into an industry that has a big potentials with a lot of money that you can make. I mean, there's a sacrifice. There's something you have to give up. So, well, I have to go, but this is something I wanted to share. So, I'll see you soon.